Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Coach Naima. And again, we're talking about the controller this month. So let's talk about how the controller has challenges in their personal and professional life. So, in their personal life, a controller saboteur, they have a sense of temporary control, but what ends up happening is that these tendencies ultimately hinder their personal and professional growth. And these saboteurs that happen inside of our lives are things that, again, you're not just doing it in one aspect of your life, you're doing it across all the aspects of your lives. And why does that happen? It's because you have basically developed this belief system and you have continued to perpetuate this particular behavior. And until you change your belief system of a thing, you will always continue to do the same things. So, controller type people, again, they want to control other people. So in a relationship, a male and or female controller wants to tell the other partner how to be in the relationship. You should have done this. You need to say this. You need to do this for me. And let me say, this is not the same as teaching someone how to love you and or to be in a relationship with you. A controller will do this despite all of the efforts that you make. They're continuing to tell you all of the negative things about what you're not doing, and then they want to tell you how to do it. And if you don't do it that specific way, then you are bound for criticism. All right. And so, by understanding the controller's traits, the personal traits of the controller, then you can influence how the negative things that the controller is doing around you can either benefit or not benefit you. All right. So this is kind of like a mental fitness technique that you have to do in order to make sure that the controller doesn't control you in your own personal relationships. So when you do, you have to remain in control over your own personal thoughts, your own personal behaviors, as well as stepping into a life of greater personal and professional performance and happiness. And how can you do this? So, if you are in a relationship with someone who is trying to control you, trying to control your every thought, your every action, your every word, again, change you first. And when they begin to see changes within you and how you are setting boundaries, certain boundaries can't be crossed, which means that a controller can't control if you have boundaries in place unless you allow for them to do that. And so then oftentimes when you're in a relationship with the controller and you find that the controller and you're miserable and the controller it continues to control, it's because you yourself have allowed for them to cross specific boundaries and don't allow for them to do that. And there can be consequences without things being detrimental. And I think that sometimes people are afraid to put boundaries in place, but remembering that boundaries, I like to tell people a boundary is your value. They're equal. So when you put the boundary in place, it means I value this specific thing. And so when you don't put a boundary in place, it means that there is no value there. So think about your own personal value, relationship, and or situation. And what do you value? What is important to you? Because what you value, you will protect. And that is one way to remove a controller's influence on you by setting personal boundaries. All right. Well, until next time, I hope that you all are using all of these great tips on controller, how it's showing up in your life. And if you want to delve more into how can I manage this controller side of myself, reach out to me, your girl, Coach Naima at Lady Khadijah Institute.com. And until then, next time, peace out. We'll see you later.